okay, we can follow the usual style that we did, wherein we just use query selector and get our follow button, for example. The reason why is this lack of structure is because in our whole document we add an event listener wherein in all of the location our user clicks, we are adding this click function, and we need to get letter E, the target. That's how JavaScript able to get which part of the user are we currently clicking on. And once we get that e-target, we're gonna check the class if it contains our edit button we created here. Did you get it? And once we have done that, we're gonna execute our code, wherein we're gonna get our post ID in our dataset labeled here in our dataset ID. And since we are getting the content element by our query selector, content slash the post ID, we need to edit our content paragraph. So our content is here. We're gonna indent this one first, and let's name this as an ID of ID, content dash post ID. Then going back to our JavaScript, we're gonna get our current text by this content element query selector that we have selected. We're gonna show what's its inner text look like and assign it to a variable we're gonna call current text. And if this current text our content element, we're gonna save this inner text that we have here temporarily, because later on this current text will be useful. So we're gonna show this content element inner.html, where the text area is as this. We're gonna assign this ID text area using our post ID so that it will be unique, and its current text we're gonna show here. So this is what happens in asynchronous JavaScript, wherein once we click this without reloading the page, we're gonna show a text area. This is this part here right now, and we're gonna show the current text and show it inside the text area. Okay, then we're gonna add a div wherein we're just gonna format our save button and cancel button. And the last thing we're gonna need to finish this one is, after this edit click, just below this we're gonna add cancel button logic, wherein if this is the target class list contains cancel button, we're gonna just reload. So just below our cancel button, we're gonna add the save button. So what does this does is we're gonna get our click or our the target post ID by looking for our dataset attribute ID. Then we're gonna also get our text area, the datas that we have get there using our query selector, our text area dash post ID we created here. Let's go look for it. Where's our text area? Oh, it's dynamically created. It's not in our here in our text area ID, text area dash post ID. That's it. Gonna fetch that, and in that text area we're gonna get its value, meaning that's the new content. We're gonna process this one and we're gonna execute a fetch. So this fetch is named based on the URLs or our routes that we created here in our URLs.py. Edit, the endpoint is edit underscore function and an integer of post ID. So what is happening here is we're also doing that same endpoint, edit underscore post, and that post ID integer that we have here. It must have a method of post and also our prepared headers we have here. Our content type is application form, Erlang coded, and also our CSRF token. Our get cookie function CSRF token is declared here on top, the same as we had used before. And then our body is parsed into a content of encode URI component. Everything of this is JavaScript built-in functions. It's just saying that we're gonna process its content, we're gonna assign it a variable we're gonna call content, Once we have that, we're gonna process again another asynchronous function. We're gonna process that response into a JSON. Lastly, if our JSON has been successfully loaded, we're gonna process its data and show in our content data.content and check if this data has a content field. We're gonna fetch our query selector of content post id and assign it to a variable. We're gonna call content and append or show into our inner HTML this data that content, meaning what is this fetch doing? Oh, you had saved, meaning we're gonna submit this fetch here, right? And once we have submit this fetch, we submit it to our Django backend. We're gonna process that JSON, and once we are finishing passing the data to our backend, we're gonna process our data right now and show again the new data in our front end and update what's in our inner HTML. Our present click data that we have here. We append its inner HTML to the new content that was submitted in the text area right now. Here we are in our description or our post content without, of course, any reload.